Hey there, creatives! Welcome back to JMTV. You are watching JMTV, but you are currently enrolled here at the Creative Passport Online School. So, today let's talk about the step by step training process. This is the full training cycle guide for learning and development professionals and for those people who would want to start a career in the training and development or learning and development field, a branch of HR, which is one of the important aspect of human development and human resources. So, this is the 5 steps process, and join me in the Creative Passport Online School. Let's start. So, the training process has 5 steps. So, step 1 is the training needs analysis or the TNA. Step 2 is the training methods and design. Step 3 is validation. Step 4 is implementation. And step 5 is the evaluation. So basically, all this process, while TNA or step 1 is happening, on the side, the learning and development manager or officer should be doing the training and development literatures. Literature means the guidelines of the HR, learning and development, workflows such as forms, and other related documents. At the same time, you should be creating it for the management to approve it once you start your step 1. So all of these steps, will go through them one by one so that you will be guided on how to do them. So let's start with step 1. Step 1 is the TNA process or the training needs analysis process. So training needs analysis. Basically, training needs analysis is the process wherein we try to analyze the training needs of the organization. So there are 3 ways to do that. First is we do through organizational TNA. This is the general training and development goals and objectives of the whole organization. So who does this is the managing director, the operational director, or the CAO. It's not a detailed one, it's just that they will define at least 2 to 3 objectives and goals when it comes to learning and development. The second version is departmental TNA, which is these are the specific goals for each department. So let's say a whole organization has around 10 departments. That means each of these departments will be doing their TNA, a general objective of what each department would like to reach a goal when it comes to learning and development. So who's doing this? Usually the manager of the department or the head of the department. And then the third one is individual TNA. This is personal individual analysis. Basically, HR, learning and development, will use the job description or the JDs as a guide. They also use the performance analysis so that they can continue checking the performance of the people. And then one more form is the personal analysis. This is where the person itself, the employee itself, is the one assessing himself or herself of what are the actual needs, training needs for him or for her to excel in the position that he or she is currently into. So for TNA 1 or TNA organizational, this TNA process will ask these following questions. So what is success for that organization? What's the end goal for the training and development for this organization? What is the specific goal of the organization for the certain year? and what skills, knowledge, behavior are expected for the general number of the employees of the population. What should be gained? And then how are we going to evaluate if we actually reach that goal? This is looking at the bigger picture as organization. So we start with what outcome we want to gain, and then we detail it with 3 to 5 objectives, and then we define what skills and knowledge and behavior we want to achieve, and of course, evaluation. That is TNAA, which is Organizational Training Needs Analysis. This is a sample form of TNAA, which the managing director or operations director will be the one to fill it up. Okay. I will be sharing a link of this downloadable in the description box. Another TNA is TNAB, which is the department. And so the head of the department or the manager of the department will address the following needs. The HOD himself will fill up the form below that I am showing. And once the employee has completed his or her personal analysis, which is the TNAC, the HOD will sit down with the employee and will discuss, validate it, agree the target skills and the gap in between, and address it with the training. And then the completed file will be forwarded to HR, of course. But as head of department, he or she himself would also define what is the specific goal of the department for that year. And then connect it with the TNAC, which is the individual. So I have mentioned earlier that TNAC has 3 parts. And the first part is the JD analysis, the job description analysis. So basically, all people who starts working in an organization should know their job description, should even be reading their job description. So from that, HR, learning and development officers or assistants or manager will be getting that file and reviewing that against the current person who is doing that job. So who will do it? Supervisor or HR. And is there a form? Yes, there is. What's the task? The task of HR will be to gather all those descriptions and validate them. Validate them by checking the current position holder and check if he or she is actually doing that job description. The first process will be analysis of the generic job description against the job holder. The result of these will be summarized and it will be shared in the 3 TNAs. All right, the next one. All right, TNAC C2, which is the performance analysis. Who will do it? HR and HODs. Form needed? Yes, indeed. So this is the evaluation form possible for that year or last year. And then this will be based on the performance feedback given by the head of the department or the manager for each team members of his or her department. So the supervisor and HR, training and development, will identify suitable trainings applicable for the skills gap based on that performance analysis. And then C3 is the third version of individual TNA, which is the personnel analysis. So who will do this? The employee himself or herself. Of course, she will fill up the form and she will share it to the head of the department. So there should be a personal questionnaire that will be handed out to the employees to fill up, and will be required some informations on their goals, on their visions, and this questionnaire will provide the individual needs and will also be used for the individual learning needs, which is the ILN, or the Personal Development Plan. So all of these TNAs will be used as a guideline for HR learning development on what are the needed trainings suitable for their team, for the department, and for the whole organization. Right? So all 3 TNAs will be gathered by learning and development or training and development, and would come up with a list of training needs, then move forward to the next steps. Okay, so this is a summary of how it looks like after we gather all the training needs. So the first column will be the organizational needs, followed by the departmental needs and the individual needs. So while the training and needs analysis is ongoing, the HR learning and development team should also start working on the training and development literatures, meaning the guidelines, the workflows, the forms, and other related documents should also be created and has to be approved by the management. So this is the part 1 of the learning and development training process. We have just talked about the training needs analysis. Okay, I'll see you on the next topic, which is the training methods and training process.